every time that I really miss a note, I think, yeah, sorry guys, I'm just a trainee here. If if you want to come back in like 10 years, maybe probably I will sing better. I mean, I hope so, and I do my best for it. But maybe you have to pay a lot more to see me, because then I'm in my professional band and I'm
Yeah.
on hot stages.
So say thank you.
So yeah, so you'd be grateful for me, for what I do now. It's all a
That's
process.
a very different feeling than what you used to have.
It is. Yeah, and you helped me with that.
Welcome to the SingWell Karaoke Show. I'm Lenore at your service. Today's topic is from singing demons to singing joy. I'm talking to Vincent, who started as a very insecure student of mine, and now he is flying. We have the letter of the day with questions that you sent me, and there's gonna be some singing because this is a singing show. Let's do this. Hi, I'm Lenore. I'm a singer and a voice teacher. This is the SingWell Karaoke Show, and today we're talking about having demons with regards to your singing. What does that mean? What do they do? How they ruin us, and then how we beat them, right? Too many people have these thoughts, deprecating thoughts, and disbelief in themselves, and all this kind of blockages that stand in their way of singing. Yeah, at the end of the day, we just want to sing because we want to sing, because we want to enjoy it, because we love it, because we have something to say, we want to express ourselves. But then those demons telling you how you cannot do it, or how bad you are, or how you made a mistake, or how people think certain things of you, or might think some things about you. And all of those things are serving one big purpose, and that is ruin your life. This is not funny, I'm sorry. This is very tragic. But I've experienced those demons, and they sometimes threaten to visit me here and there. But the good news is I know what to do about it when those demons arrive. And what I want to show you today is an example of one of my students who has made one of the most remarkable journeys that I've witnessed. From being told that he couldn't sing, from thinking that he couldn't sing, to not only singing, but performing on a weekly basis, getting paid for it, and most importantly, enjoying the performances. Can you imagine that? He's enjoying the whole process of learning, and he's going to talk all about that. We have a before recording of his that we will listen to together, and then he's going to give us a badass performance for an after take. And let's just get to the call with Vincent. So, today we have Vincent on the line. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so the reason we have you here is because you have started at a certain place in your singing, and right now you are somewhere else. Yeah. So I want you to talk a little bit about that. Where did your singing start from, and where do you consider you are nowadays?
Wow, when I start from that long ago, because I had my own band for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started, I had to sing.
You're a guitarist.
I'm a guitarist, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had to sing, and that was not easy at all.
Okay. Why was it not easy to
But
sing?
I don't know. I teach students, and some of them, they're 14, 16 years old. They start singing. They have that beautiful voice, and everything is kind of natural already. But I didn't have that.
So it wasn't natural for you.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And later on, I found out. I don't know exactly if that's the reason why, but I've been told from an early stage in my life that I couldn't sing. Not to put me down or anything, but just like there are 24 hours in a day, and the earth is round, and
Mhm.
we can sing.
Just
I
a
mean,
fact, just
it's
one of
a
those
fact.
things.
Yeah, it's like our family cannot sing. Nobody
Hmm.
was musical in a way. And
Yes.
maybe I didn't realize it back then, but maybe, you know, in time I start believing it myself, I think. So,
Mm.
but the band was okay, and we were touring, and I had problems with my throat every time I sang. So, but not, it was okay. I mean, not okay, but I wasn't focusing too much attention to it. And the rare moments that we recorded something in the studio, I was really nervous. I had to do a
Mm.
lot of takes, and then like cutting and pasting, um,
Yeah.
and I never was really happy with it. And I
So
had some,
you were never happy with it, but did you also hear from other people while you were singing on stage, anything about that,
oh
while
yeah,
you're singing?
yeah.
What did you
Well,
hear?
comments like, "Yeah, it's a great band. You should get a professional singer,"
Mm-hmm.
or "It's a pity that you sing that off tune or that bad."
Mm.
But also, within the band, I talked about it, and I also talked about it with teachers,
Mm-hmm.
saying that I was really insecure about it. And then,
How would you not be insecure about it? Like, oh, the whole setup and the experience singing itself, like you having difficulties with singing, like technical difficulties, and then hearing feedback after every performance that maybe you shouldn't be the one doing it. How
yeah,
could you not be insecure?
it's a good question, because the other way around, when people after a gig, when people come over and they tell you that they had a really nice time and they like my playing, they always comment on my playing, not my vocals. But
Mm.
even if they say something nice about my guitar playing or me being a musician, the first thing in my mind just came was like, yeah, but you're drunk. You're drunk. So what you're telling her. So I was putting
I'll play
myself
it.
down a lot of times.
So I wanna get to the process that got you to where you
Yeah, because
are.
I'm feeling depressed already now. I'm
What?
reliving it.
I didn't mean to upset you.
No, 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 no. That's okay. But I thought back then like that, and that's a huge change in where I am now, because I start not
Can you
giving
just
so
tell
much.
us where you are now? How would you define where you're now? And then I want to also talk about, of course, how you got there.
Well, I still feel like a trainee or a stagiaire, singing wise, but I love it, and I love doing what I do, and I see that I'm growing. And whenever I'm on stage, and I know that I'm off tune, or that I do something that some of the tunes. I started with some Led Zeppelin tunes, and I practice it at home. But if you go on stage with them, I mean, they're not ready yet.
Hmm.
But I have to go through that process of being on stage and doing it while not feeling comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that I want to prove myself on stage. I'm having fun. Every time that I really miss a note, I think, yeah, sorry guys, I'm just a trainee here. If if you want to come back in like 10 years, maybe probably I will sing better. I mean, I hope so, and I do my best for it. But maybe you have to pay a lot more to see me, because then I'm in my professional band, and
Yeah.
I'm on hot stages.
So
And
say thank you.
so yeah, so you'd be grateful for me, for what I do now. It's all a process.
That's a very different feeling than what you used to have.
It is. Yeah, and you helped me with that, because you were the first coach uh, that I was with you for a couple of years,
Mhm.
um, and you really helped me with that, because you're passionate and empathic. Is that the English word? Empathic,
Empathetic, I guess.
empathetic. Yeah.
Thank you.
That really helped me,
Yeah.
because it's not about uh, you're only good, or you're only one of the big guys if you can do this or that.
Right.
Like me, because I'm the teacher and I know,
Mm.
it's, you showed your process as well. You're being honest about being a musician, and that
Yes.
helps, especially with your vocals. Because for me, if I sing, I I didn't even start at 0. I think I started like -10, because I had all those demons. I shared it with one of my best friends. He was in my band before. He followed the whole process when I was studying with you, and in the first time, that was not a big change. But I was fighting my demons. I really was. It was a hard way,
Yes.
and 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 suddenly, after a couple of months, he started to say things like, "Wow, how do you do that? This is great, man. Wow, how can you hit that high note every time?" I was like, "Okay, so I know you're honest. That's for sure. I know you're honest. And now something has changed." And he changed as well, you know? And
Wow.
and and maybe I can go to a performance that was really important for me. It's not that long ago. It was,
Mm-hmm.
I think, it was in September. Later on, I had a discussion with with Maurits, with my vocal teacher now, and he said, "Well, Vincent, if you're on stage singing and playing guitar, we don't care about your guitar. You're a singer, because
Hmm.
that's what we see."
Hmm. And then what happened in that concert?
Then I started to become nervous, because it was going to be the first gig in my life as a singer, and I did my best. I prepared everything well, and I knew the lyrics, I knew the songs. Some songs I knew already a long time. And the guy that organized it, the only thing that he told me, not the band, me, "Ouch, Vincent, you're singing off tune. I'm not used to that."
Hmm.
I was freaking out.
Hi, let's take a little break from the call. I have something important to say. Did you know that you can also call the show and talk to me? I would love to hear from you if you are struggling with anything that has to do with singing, or if you went through some difficulties and came out the other end. I would love to have you on the show. All you have to do is go on my blog, singwell.eu, and contact me through there. Keep in touch. Now let's get back to the show.
I was freaking out. I thought, okay, this was too high. This was a step too far. But I cannot go back now. So I was in a bad shape when I arrived there. And then we had a small rehearsal before we started. And I felt good. I felt, okay, this is not that bad. Let's go for it. I don't care if my voice is gone by the end of the eighth performance. Let's go for it. And I knew I was going to sing off tune. But I don't know, something changed. It was nice. And we repeat everything. The show was getting better and better. I had a good time. I liked it. And there was a very good singer that I know, that I performed with as a guitar player. We had a duo. And after the worst, we had 8 gigs, and the fifth, that was after the break, that was the worst. And she was in the audience, and she came to me and she said, "Wow, there's definitely going something on here. This is really nice." And she never ever complimented me on my voice before.
Wow.
And that was a huge break for me. That was the moment that I realized, wow, okay, nice. This is maybe the first time ever somebody, and even a singer, she knows what she's telling about. So that was a huge compliment. And I started receiving those compliments little by little in the gigs that I did after. And I'm really proud of that.
Mainly thanks to that mental change that you made,
Yeah.
just regarding yourself as a singer.
Yeah. And I'm not not focused on the results.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember that with my guitar as well. First, I was fighting and trying to get approval, even for myself, for being a musician. Because also guitar is not a natural thing to me. I'm not a national talent, a natural talent. I'm not. I have to work hard. And when I started to realize slowly on that there's something going on, that I don't have to panic every time that I approach the guitar, but there's a love relation to me and my guitar, and there's more love relation to me and my voice, or to me and myself. And that's a huge change. So I don't consider success as a result of my performance, but a way to feel when I'm performing.
Yeah.
If I have a good time and I record something and I like it, I like it. And that's, I don't care about how many followers I have. I don't have any follower, or views on YouTube.
This is huge. To record something, this is actually bigger than some people might think. But if you just think about it, recording yourself, almost nobody likes what they sound like when they're recorded, listening back to themselves. So you came from a place when you probably didn't like anything that you heard on a recording.
No.
To listen to a recording and liking it.
Yeah.
Not just thinking, oh, it's fine, I can tolerate it, but actually liking it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me.
No, but I work hard for it, because it's had to do with meditation, with loving myself as a person, becoming more me.
But you are doing this more and more the way it sounds like you're more prioritizing having a good experience.
Yeah.
And that makes sure that the audience gets a good experience. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it translates to the audience.
Absolutely. They absorb what you're feeling.
Yeah.
I really hope for you that you zoom in on that experience and the finding the love for yourself and for your music. If you go through that angle, I'm more confident that you will not end up being more stressed and as you succeed more, because as you get better, you will be more successful. And then that has, its danger of putting more pressure on you.
Yeah, but it comes from a different place.
Exactly.
It comes from music first.
Exactly. So you prioritize the music, you prioritize the performance and the connection with the audience and your own joy, of course.
Yeah.
And if that continues to drive you, then I'm very optimistic. We sort of being so excited, we forgot to mention the previous performance, and then versus now. So we can just do it now.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So
this is a performance where it was your first performance after starting voice lessons, in general with me.
Yeah.
So you just started taking lessons, and that was your first concert after that.
Yeah.
And this is a song that is also not so easy to sing. We're just going to play a little bit of that, if you're okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It was June 2019.
Okay.
Embracing loneliness as a new and fresh dawn, until remembers days the last don't yet free.
That was the little snippet.
Yeah.
How did you feel listening to that right now?
That's okay. I hear it's genuine.
Yeah.
I really want to tell the story, but technically I'm not aware. I was aware about the melody lines, and technically I didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it sounds also okay to me, back then you thought that it was really, really bad. But I just heard something that was not as stable as it could be.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't stable.
So there was a little bit of shaky ground, and some people here, and probably you heard like one note here and there that is off.
Yeah.
What I hear is just lack of stability. And as you say, lack of technique. So then we started working on that. And of course that made everything a lot better. So here's what I would like. First of all, I would love to hear you sing something.
Cool.
Yeah? What are you going to sing?
Babe, I'm gonna leave you.
Babe, I'm gonna leave you.
Maybe after the song. Baby, baby, I'm gonna leave you. I said, baby, baby, I'm gonna leave you. I can hear it calling me. Can hear it calling me the way it used to do. I can hear it calling me back. My, whoa. Baby, 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 gotta ramble. Not joking about it, babe. Really mean it, girl. Gotta quit you. Can hear it calling me. Don't you know it's calling me the way it used to do? I know, I know, I know there will never be another you. I tried and I tried and I tried. There's not a single thing that I can do. Come on now! Come on now! Oh, babe! Baby, 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 woman! That's when it's calling me. That's when it's calling me. Back home.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Tired.
Tired?
Yeah, tired.
Because you just poured out your entire, like, inner being into the song. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I was going in and out, but yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, it could have fooled me. I didn't see anything going out. I felt like you were in all the way.
It's so nice to have those little moments that you really hear the tones that you're playing. I have that more with my guitar than my focus yet, still. But you know, those moments that you really hear every tiny detail of the guitar and the tones and or that you feel the intention of what I'm trying to. Trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you
No,
think you have developed so far that you didn't necessarily believe in the beginning was possible?
I think that's the process. I mean, to be more effortless and work on technique from that part, from that how do you from that area. But if I could keep on going and practicing and having from that inner space of being patient and just playfully and lovingly look at myself and my development and not being judgmental and not caring so much about the result and caring more about telling the story and how I'm able, like when there are some really high notes in that song that I just sang, and I didn't practice that for a long time, and I'm technically busy with other things right now, and I I just tell myself like, hey, let's go to that high note. Probably, I don't know, just go there, and then we go together, and sometimes it's off, and sometimes out of control, and well, most of the times it's off and out of control, but okay, now I should study it more, and but it's nice to go there and let's not being angry afterwards. Hey, fuck, I fucked up. No, it's like, okay, we did it, we tried it. Okay, let's do it another time.
So you view it as an adventure.
Yeah.
From my perspective, that's not the case that most of the high notes were off. That's actually not true. Some of them were, most of them were not off. Most of them were just fine.
Yeah, it feels like I'm not in control yet, but
Yeah, that's a different story though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But I think being able to really enjoy the process of learning and
exactly.
enjoy being on stage even if you don't feel ready.
Yeah,
That's something that's really priceless
yeah.
because enjoying music is why we started doing it in the first place. So waiting until you are perfectly where you want to be until you start enjoying it, that sounds like you have to wait a long time. So you found a way to flip it around.
I'm happy with it. I'm truly happy with it, and it feels so good. And believe me, I'm not there every day. I'm not there yet, and but it's so nice to start from a positive feeling
Mm-hmm.
and then develop yourself instead of having to prove or thinking you have to prove yourself before you can be a
Before you can be
musician
happy.
or be happy, yeah, or a happy musician, yeah.
Yeah, before you deserve to enjoy anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Why? I'm here for another 20, 30, 40 years, and so let's do as many stages as
And how often do you perform nowadays?
I try to do once a week. I'm busy
Amazing.
with it. Yeah.
Do you have an experience that you can tell me about from one of your performances when someone came up to you and told you what your performance meant to them in a positive way?
Yeah. I did a Led Zeppelin song, and I knew it was too high. I had a lesson just before, and there was something hilarious happening. And my teacher shouting at me when I was playing and singing, he said, "Ah, finally, yes, this is it." You know, something like that. So I recorded it, just as a fragment. And I went to the toilet in a church, and I listened back to it. And listened back to it like 3 times. And okay, this is the energy that I want to have. I went on stage, I played, and I thought, okay, I'm going to fuck up the high notes. I know that. That's not even a question. I know I'm going to fuck up. But I want to have that energy. And you can tell that from the applause from you know that you get that's going somewhere. It's not like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, but we're really enthusiastic. So I like
Yes.
it. By the end of the performance, I was packing all my things and I was leaving, and then a man came to me. He looked at me and he says, "Yeah, you're Robert Plant."
You're what? Sorry?
Robert Plant. Robert Plant is a singer of Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
And like, wow, this is a huge compliment. I know I'm not Robert Plant, but thank you.
It
So
doesn't
I thought
matter what you think.
it's
It
it's
matters
about
that he
it's
thought that.
it's about energy. It's about connection. It's about love. It's about the music. It's not
Ah,
about the. It's not only about the pitch. So yeah, it worked. So I loved it, and there I realized, wow, this is maybe the first really nice compliment. Just a small one, a short one, but it meant a lot to me.
yeah. Yeah, it
I
does
went
mean a
outside
lot.
at you like, yes,
So, yes. So
yes,
that must have felt like you won the lottery that moment.
yes. It did, and
Amazing.
it's so nice. Yeah, I don't know who
Great
that guy was,
story.
but I thank him really.
Yeah,
Right moment, right comment. I love it. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
So thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you. It's so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's fun to reflect on the whole way
on the whole way
that you've come.
on in which you've been a huge part.
Yeah, and I'm honored to have been a part of that.
Yeah.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank you, Lior. Bye-bye.
What can we all learn from the story of Vincent? Of course, everybody's going to take something that they related to and something that might help them with their own life story. But what I wanted everybody to take away here is the notion of from can't to can. Vincent is a wonderful example of not being able to do something and then getting to a point when you are able. Of course, he kept on saying that he is a work in progress, and yeah, we know that. Everybody's a work in progress, and you're not, you still have not arrived yet. But at the same time, Vincent had arrived. He has achieved a lot. He's achieved confidence. He has achieved vocal technique that he didn't have before. He's achieved the entire facade of professionalism. He's on it, performing and getting paid for his singing. And he's being regarded as a singer now. He's getting compliments for his singing. A person who in the beginning was told, you probably should hire a professional singer because you're not this person who's supposed to be doing this. So what can you do if you think that you're not a singer or that you're a bad singer even, but you want to get good at it? So first of all, you need to get a little bit of an assessment of where you are and what are the tools that you need. But you're going to need some vocal technique. I have a course for that. You need some stage skills. I have a course for that too. I have all kinds of structures and plans for you on how to become a singer. So if you want to start this process, you can just go and do my 1-minute quiz, right? Just free on my homepage, and I will point you to the resources that you might need. Or you can just reach out to me and ask, and I'll help you. Hi, it's me from the future. I forgot to mention a very important and free resource. It's an article on my blog called The Skills It Takes to Become a Professional Singer. So you can head on to SingWell.eu and check that out. But for sure, what Vincent did was way more than just learning how to sing. He did that as a given, but in addition to that, he worked on his entire singing being, and that's what you should do. And on that note, we're going to move on to the letter of the day. In the letter of the day, we're going to read a question that any of you asked me. By the way, I love this stuff, so go onto my website, SingWell.eu. Go to the bottom corner, there's like a little envelope or a little smiley, depending if I'm online or not, and you can write me a message. I will read it, and I personally answer all of your questions. So this question today is coming from, let's call her Annabelle. And Annabelle says, I know nothing about singing, but I want to learn since long time ago. I'm just ashamed that my voice is so bad to sing. Well, isn't this exactly the topic of today? So I really hope that Annabelle is watching this episode and has seen Vincent and saw how he was talking about how he felt exactly the same way. I was the only one, except for another person in his life, that told him that he had a nice voice. So I really did think that he had a nice voice, and I still think that. So when people tell me that they have a bad voice or they are afraid that they have a bad voice, I get immediately suspicious because it's almost always not true. I can think of maybe 2 cases off the top of my head of people who came to me and sounded bad at first, like the actual quality of their voice was bad. That usually doesn't happen unless you have really big issues with the vocal mechanism. There is something wrong with your larynx, your vocal cords. If your posture is putting like so much tension on your voice that you sound really choked, or if you're really hoarse. That happens by a handful of times, and I have taught hundreds of students. So when you tell me that you have a bad voice, I don't believe that automatically. So we're just gonna put that aside for a second, okay? And I'm just gonna pretend that you're lying. No, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna pretend that you actually don't have a bad voice. I don't want you to assume that. Even if you had a quote-unquote bad voice, when you learn proper, healthy vocal mechanism, the result of that is the voice is free. When the voice is free and healthy, it sounds good. That's just how it is. When people speak and they have good flow, good airflow in their voice, and the vocal cords are closing properly, they have nice vibrations and their resonances are open. That's what is necessary to get a good voice. So if you think you have a bad voice, start there, free up your voice. If you're just starting out, go to my article on how to practice singing, get your structure of practicing, and then follow it. So we start with releasing the body, having a little bit of body work so the body is free, so your instrument is free. Then you start with some warm-up, and I have a warm-up that I point you to, and then you go and you do a little bit of vocal technique. You can use any voice tips that you get either from me or from YouTube, wherever. It doesn't matter, as long as you choose one thing and focus on it for a few sessions. Yeah, so you can try a few things, like a few voice tips in the beginning to see which one is like your favorite and you feel good with, and then you run with it and you do that for a few sessions and you focus, and then you end up with singing for fun and not thinking about technique at all. All of this guidance is in my article, How to Practice Singing. If you do that, you will start feeling better and better with your voice. And if you need any advice, you should take my singing quiz. And if you need further advice on that, I would love to have you call the show and ask me specific questions if you have them, okay? One thing is very important for me to say. You said two main things in this question that collide with each other. The first is that you're passionate about singing and you have been wanting this for a long time. And the other thing is that you are ashamed that you might sound bad. So right now your identity, your voice will not be displayed because you're ashamed of it. Here's the thing about that. The passion part is not going to disappear. I don't know how old you are, but if you just postpone your wish to sing because you're ashamed, you're going to get to the point that either your life is going to be over and you have not done what you're passionate about. And well, here's a regret if you ever had one. Or you're going to catch yourself 2 decades before your life is over. And then you're going to say, well, I am ashamed still, or I'm a little bit scared of this, but I can't afford to care anymore because I'm too old. So I don't know how old you are. It doesn't matter. The passion for singing that you have is not going to go away. You might as well start now. Yeah? So, I know how you feel when you say that you're ashamed. I know what it's like to be afraid to sing in front of other people. I know that better than anyone. Please ignore it, work on it, force yourself to sing. Do it in empty bus stations at first if you have to, but slowly but surely do it, because you have no other choice. So just do it. Yeah, I'm here to help you. If you need like a pep talk, call the show. I'll give you a pep talk. Okay? So thank you, Annabelle, for this question. That was it for today. So we had our talk, we had our letter of the day, we had some singing in the show, we covered all our bases, and now why don't you go ahead and leave a nice review for the show if you like it so far, or if you're on YouTube, leave a comment and a like and all of that stuff, and call the show. It's gonna be a good time. Enjoy singing.